Hi and welcome to Love Doing Yoga on this Wednesday evening. Hope all is good with you. You're having a nice week. We've got a really nice flowing practice this evening, so hopefully you will enjoy it. As always, throughout the practice, honour your body, only do what feels right for you today. So let us begin sitting down. Make yourself nice and comfortable on your mat. Closing your eyes. Letting go of your day and everything that's going on in your life. And just bringing yourself to the practice. Becoming aware of your seat bones and having equal weight on both seat bones. Focusing in on your own alignment, ears over your shoulders, shoulders over your hips, sitting up nice and tall, finding that space and openness in your spine. And then let that attention go to your breath. Inhaling through your nose, filling your belly, pause, and then exhale through your nose. Extending that exhale. And let's take 3 more breaths here like this. And then when you're ready, softly open your eyes. Let's just move on to all fours and step up to the top of your mat. And you can stay up the top of your mat. I'm just going to come into the center so you can see what I'm doing. Let's stand with our feet hip width apart, equal weight on both feet, having those feet pointing in the same direction, so the feet are a mirror image of each other. As you stand up tall, almost pressing away from the mat, finding that length in the spine. Let's clasp the fingers together and nice and slowly draw them up, all the way up over the head. When they're over your head, release the fingers, draw the arms back and around and bring them back to be clasped in front of you again. And doing that again, nice and slowly, so you're really aware of the movement that's bringing into the arms and especially the shoulders. As the arms come up over the head, release them, draw them back, allow the chest to open, and come around to the front one more time. Being very conscious of the movement as you draw it all the way up. Release, bring the arms back and down by your side. And then from the top of the mat, we're just going to roll down. So let's start with the hands on the hips. Raise the gaze, open the chest, and then begin to bow the head. Round the shoulders, drop the arms, start to round the whole spine. Everything nice and slowly being drawn by gravity towards
the mat. You can let the knees bend. When your hands reach the mat, just clasp either side of the elbow. And let's just gently rock from side to side. And then coming to stillness, let's release the elbows, bend the knees as you slowly, one vertebrae at a time, begin to open the whole body out, straightening the legs, straightening the spine, and finally raising the head to look in front. Bring those hands onto your hips. Raise the gaze, open the chest for your back bend, and once again let's roll down. Slowly being aware of each vertebrae as you roll your way down, softening the knees, coming all the way to the mat. Hands to the mat, and then let's roll all the way back up again, straightening the legs, opening out the spine, looking in front of you, hands on your hips, into the other extreme, the back bend, looking behind you, and one last time. Rolling down, bowing the head, rounding the shoulders, rounding the back, softening the knees, coming all the way down, and finally making your way all the way back up to stand. And standing up tall at the top of your mat, again with equal weight on both feet. Looking in front of you, let's raise those arms up, palms together, raise the gaze. And then sweep those arms out to the side as we come this time into a forward fold. So very different to what we were just doing. We're hinging at the hips here. Bend your knees if you need to, as you let your lower rib cage come into contact with your upper thighs, into a forward fold. Let's take a breath here. And then let's step the right leg back and then the left to make our way into downward dog, but pedal your way in there. Nice and slow. Until you're ready to come to stillness. Ensuring in your downward dog that your gaze is towards your belly button, that your hips are pushed back towards the back of the mat, that your shoulders are away from your ears. Let's take one more breath here. And then stepping the feet up to the top of the mat. So you're back in a forward fold. And bend the knees. Coming all the way up, palms together, raise the gaze. Sweeping down, forward fold. Stepping back into your downward dog. One more breath here. And stepping the feet forward into your forward fold again. Bend the knees. Coming all the way up, raise those arms over the head, raise the gaze. And one more time. through to forward fold. Stepping it back to downward dog. And bending the knees, come down onto all fours. And then let's step the legs back and come to lie on your mat. Forehead on the mat. Draw those hands down either side of your chest. Elbows are looking at each other. And from here we're going to lift up first into a cobra. So all the effort is coming from your core. Light with the hands, draw the forehead and chest away from the mat. And then activate your hands to push the body on up into a cobra. And either stay here or if you want to go a little higher, coming onto the feet and the hands for an up dog. And lower the knees down, lower the chest down, and then the belly. Taking a breath. And once again, draw the forehead and chest away. Activate the hands into a cobra. Pushing on up to raise the knees up. And come down onto the knees, chest, belly, forehead. One more time. Draw the forehead and chest away. Then activate the hands to push on up. And then activate the feet, raising the knees. And bend those knees. Push all the way back to a child's pose with your arms out in front. One more breath here. And then let's step those hands out and come into our plank. So shoulders over wrists, keeping that core engaged, up on your toes. Taking 2 more breaths here. Softness in the elbows. And then come down onto the knees, push back to a child's pose, take a breath. And once again, coming into your plank. So just watch your form, because when you're moving from child's pose into plank, you can often end up with your shoulders too far back away from your wrists, and then your hips come up high. So be conscious of having those shoulders over the hips. Softness in the elbows. One more breath here. And bring the knees down. Push back. Child's pose. Allow the whole spine to round. And last time, coming up into your plank, setting it up. So shoulders over wrists. 2 more breaths here. And bringing the knees down, pushing back once more to a child's pose. Coming up into tabletop, and let's step the left foot up, keep this knee bent, step the right foot up and bring those toes together. So our knees are bent, our hips are down, and let's just raise our torso and arms up to shoulder level. And then from here, let's very slowly lower down, come onto your toes and come to balance on your toes. Take a breath. Trying to bring those shoulders over the hips. And then rising up again, let the heels come down, drawing the torso up, drawing the knees back behind the toes, keeping the hips down. And slowly making your way back down into your toe balance, drawing those shoulders back so they're over the hips. And let's rise up again. Heels come to the mat. Knees come back. And one more time, lowering down onto your toes. And rising up, drawing the knees back. And this time coming all the way up to stand, bring the arms down by your sides. Good, well done. From here, let's stand long ways on the mat. Open the legs out nice and wide. Draw the arms up. So we're like a star. And then from here, we're going to step the right foot over to the left and come down to hug the knees. And then step the left foot out. Raise the arms up. And on the other side, left foot comes across to the right, scooping down to hug the knees round the back. And then coming up, step the right foot out. And one more time, step the right foot across, bending over the knees, step the left foot out, rising up. Good. And making your way back up to the top of your mat. Let's take in a little balance. So shifting the weight into your right foot, turn that left foot at a right angle, and let's take it into tree pose. So either onto your calf or your thigh, whichever you prefer. Find your balance, find a gaze point. And then you may want to raise the arms up over the head, open them out. Engage the core. One more breath here. Bringing the hands back into prayer, release that left leg and step it back. Bending this right knee, let's raise the arms up for a warrior one. Squaring the hips, keeping that back foot connected to the mat so the outside edge of the back foot is fully in contact with the mat. One more breath here. Draw the arms out to the side for your airplane. Keeping this right knee bent. One more breath. And let's draw those hands into prayer at the chest. Shift the weight once again
into this right leg and raise the left leg up. Pointing the left toe down. One more breath. And then step that left foot underneath you and come up to stand. Good. Let's try that on the other side. So turning the right foot out to the right, shifting the weight into this left leg and bringing that right foot onto the left leg, either at your calf or your thigh, whichever works for you today. Keeping that right knee at a right angle. Find your point of balance. Find your gaze point. Engage your core. And maybe raise the arms up over the head and maybe open them out. One more breath here. And bringing those hands back together in prayer, releasing that right foot, stepping it back, keeping this bend in this left knee so it's over the left ankle, square up the hips, a little bit of weight in the outside edge of the right foot as you raise up the arms, soften the shoulders. Engaging the core as you exhale. And then hinging at the hips, draw the arms out to the side for your airplane. One more breath. Bring the hands into prayer at the chest. Shift the weight into this left leg as you draw that right leg out behind you. And then when you're ready, step the right foot underneath you so you're back on your feet again. From here, raising the arms up, palms together, raise the gaze. Sweep those arms out to the side, forward fold. And step back into a tabletop. So shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. Let's stretch that left leg out behind you, raising it to hip height. Now turn that left foot sideways so it's parallel with the floor. And as you do, raise your hips so your hips are now stacked on top of each other. And then from here with the left hand, either place it on your hip or raise it up. So it's like a half moon pose. Trying to line up your shoulders and your hips. One more breath. And drawing that left hand down and the left leg. Let's take it to the other side. So this time we are stretching the right leg out, raise it up to hip height. Then turn it sideways and allow those hips to stack on top of each other. And raise the right arm up so the arms are in a T. One more breath here. And bringing that right hand down and the right leg pushed back into a child's pose, arms out in front. Allow the back to round. One more breath here. And then let's make our way down to lie on the mat. With your knees bent. And hug those knees into the chest. Take a little bit of movement here to massage out the back. And when you're ready, let those feet come down onto the mat. Stretch the legs out. Toes, feet flopping out to the side. Arms down by your sides with your palms facing upwards. And allow the body to totally soften, release, and let go. Letting go your feet and your legs. Letting go your glutes and your pelvis. Letting go the whole back of your body and shoulder blades. The front of your body, chest and shoulders. Letting go your arms and your hands. Your head, face, jaw and chin. The whole of your body, just let it go. And take a moment to acknowledge something that you're feeling particularly grateful for today. And let your attention go to your breath. As you inhale through your nose, filling your belly, pause, and then exhale through your nose. Keeping your attention on your breath for the next few minutes.